Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Chop It Up show, only on 1:37 p.m. I'm your host, John Henry.
And I'm Brandon Bryant, and we are breaking down business and culture through the entrepreneur lens. Whether that is million-dollar deals or flipping kicks on StockX, we are here to help you in your hustle, whatever that may be. What we got going on today?
Well, today we have an interesting bit of news for you guys.
In case you missed it, my favorite team in the fast food industry is at it again on a social media tip. Burger King has a new subscription business and a new opportunity to get butts in seats. John, tell us a little bit about it.
Here's the scoop. Burger King has rolled out a new product, or rather a new model. It's a subscription business, and get this, $5 a month, and you can have a coffee any day of the month. It could be all 31 days, it could be 17, it could be 3, it could be 1. The deal is you pay $5 and you get unlimited coffee throughout the month. How does that make sense?
This is a very big play by them. If you really think about it, people spend 60, 70, 80 bucks a month on Starbucks. That's a month. That's more than the entire year at Burger King. And Burger King's focused on this. They're going to be getting new butts in the seats. And even the person who was writing one of the articles we read on Inc. magazine said he had never went to Burger King before, but now he's going to be going into the doors and trying this out.
Burger King's strategy with this is to use the subscription as a loss leader. What's a loss leader, you ask? It's when you hook the customer in with a product that you break even or even lose money on in order to get them in the door and make money on them afterwards. As an example, when you go to Burger King to buy a burger, they don't make much money on the burger. However, they do make money with the fries and the Coke. That's where the margin is. So I think what they're doing here is getting you in the door, and then once you get a coffee, you're gonna get a cinnamon bun, you're gonna get a muffin, you might come around later and get a burger, etc., etc. So not a bad play from Burger King.
Not a bad play at all. And we wanna talk about loss leaders. Let's talk about McDonald's and their marketing, okay? While Burger King is out here creating apps where you can burn abs of their competitors with virtual or augmented reality, or Burger King is actually shooting a new documentary with the director from Hero Dreams of Sushi to shoot about how great their coffee is.
De pequeño anhelé tener cualquier pedazo de café.
McDonald's is over here partnering with Lazy Boy recliners. And they have a recliner that actually keeps your McFlurry cold. McDonald's, you gotta step it up, because if you're under 30, we don't know what Lazy Boy is.
Right.
Okay? So please get it together.
Not only that, but they're just like strengthening that stigma of like McDonald's is like unhealthy. I mean, look, McDonald's is just not been hot. They've been churning CEOs. I read that they spend a record amount on marketing because after the age of 18, people no longer feel inclined to buy at McDonald's. This is why they're constantly running ads. You know, for them, the problem is not marketing, because I don't think any amount of good marketing is going to fix a shitty product. I think they really have to turn that ship around. I mean, Uber Eats, their #1 client is McDonald's. So when you look at partnerships with Lazy Boy, which you can sit on a recliner and then just order it, I mean, it's just a bad look altogether. McDonald's, you gotta step it up.
Get off your couch, America, and actually, you know what, let us know. On the marketing side, who would you choose?
I honestly feel like McDonald's has a much better brand, but they just have shitty marketing right now. I don't know why.
But isn't that crazy that your marketing can actually technically make you a whole better brand?
I know, but like when I think of those golden arches, I just think of America. So there you go. There you guys have it. Let us know, do you think McDonald's is a better brand or Burger King is a better brand? And also, do you think that good marketing can save a bad product? Let us know
in the comments. Peace.
All right, guys, if you haven't listened to anything in this episode, listen to this. This is the hot take. This is Deal Talk. All right, guys, so the big news, the big scoop, the big kahuna, the news of the town. Instagram has launched native checkout, i.e., payments. You can now buy directly on Instagram. This is gonna have a massive implication across the entire e-commerce ecosystem. And I wanna hear what Brandon thinks, because he might be shitting his pants since he's an influencer. What do you think, man? What do you make of this?
I'm gonna jump in really quick right here and just draw the picture of what's going on, right? Like
break it down
Instagram is #1 for discovery, right? So everyone goes on there to discover things.
Right.
And then Instagram became like the biggest place for engagement, which is why advertisers want to go on there.
Right.
But then they would lose out on extra money because people would just bounce and go buy somewhere else.
That's right.
So now that actually is not broken anymore. Now that's bridged. And so now they're capturing the close, the deal closing, to get all these payments, because they're going to be taking a small little fee of every time you purchase on Instagram. And now there's no friction at all, and you will never leave Instagram. So Mark Zuckerberg is taking all your information and all your monies.
So this matters for a number of reasons, right? One, right now, the #1 destination for e-commerce on the web is Amazon. Amazon does something like 40 to 45% of all e-commerce, which is a sizable number. I don't expect Instagram is gonna successfully go toe-to-toe with Amazon on the whole, but I do think with respects to fashion brands, they do have an edge, because Amazon, let's face it, doesn't have the hottest brands on there. They kind of have whitelisting, kind of, you know, subpar brands. Instagram seems to have the cool. And now you can expect that people will be buying more directly through Instagram, which means that they're gonna have an edge on Amazon fashion with probably just a short period of time.
Yeah, I mean, this is an intense one. And then let me talk from an influencer perspective, right? So now influencers are gonna be held accountable. Are you actually making people buy? Buy. Previously, we just share our analytics, so our impressions, our engagements, what have you, and brands are like, okay, cool. You know, we're just paying to play, we're getting awareness going. But now we have to actually sell shit. So myself included, I guess John too, you an influencer here and there. Here and there, but now we have to close the deal. But I want to say one thing. I think it's going to take time for people to actually feel comfortable buying the shoes that are exactly on my feed and with 2 clicks. And I think this could turn into somewhat of a credit card, if you will, right? Like, because we know we have Apple and we have Goldman going after a credit card, but what if Instagram and Facebook create a credit card because you're already buying so much shit on their platform? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Goldman, watch out. Apple, watch out, because again, Mark Zuckerberg is here to eat everyone's lunch.
So from my perspective, it's interesting because Instagram now has a more perfect loop when it comes to product sales. To Brandon's point, influencers were the go-to play for brand awareness and general impressions, and now influencers are gonna have the pressure to close the deal, which means that no longer will subpar influencers be able to get away with their bullshit, because essentially advertisers will be able to know directly who's selling and who's not. I think it's a good thing for advertisers. I just am concerned that too many of them will succumb to the temptation to go for the short-term sale. As Gary would say, the right hook before the jab.
What's going on today, guys? Oh, there's an extra chair here. What does that mean, John?
Well, that means it must be on the rise. We have another in-studio guest, none other than Ani Hustles himself. Let's welcome Ani to the stage.
What's going on, bro?
What's poppin'?
This
Welcome
is one
to
of
the show.
the homies right here.
All
right.
How y'all feeling?
Man, feeling great.
Awesome.
So let's get into it. Look, guys, there's gonna be few times where we'll have someone that is as multi-hyphenate as Brandon and I. Ani is in real estate, like heavy, like actually owns a number of properties, been doing it for a while, runs a marketing agency, owns a chai company, chai tea company, also manages an artist named Anik Khan that's popping right now. You're doing all kinds of stuff. It's great to have you on the show, my brother.
Thank you, guys.
So we got a lot of stuff to chop it up on.
Yes, thank you. I'm grateful to be here. You guys are killing it.
Thank you.
We just gonna take over the way we take over.
So let's just get right into it. I mean, more often than not in this IG landscape, there are guys whose hype has outpaced their execution. I think this is one of those few reverse cases where your execution has vastly outpaced your hype, right? So talk to us a little bit about your approach to IG. Like, you create content, and I feel like you straddle this line. Like, you like to put out content, but you also don't like necessarily being kind of front of camera. So break that whole thing down for us.
That's a great question. I think for me, it's all about documentation, you know, and we're all on our respective journeys. The things that we deal with every day, like, people would not even imagine, right? From cleaning garbage off the floor to having to, you know, pacify a client. And for me, it's just like, how can I document the most authentic experience? Because in a world of hucksters and, you know, not name no names, but certain people, it's really important to show people what the reality of entrepreneurship is like. And it's not private jets and Ferraris, right? It's about,
Not over this way.
it's about being in the trenches and figuring it out and learning as much from your losses as you do from your wins. And so for me, I was an entrepreneur before entrepreneurship was a buzzword, right? Like, I started a record label when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I lived in Tokyo when I was 21 years old. I brought Wiz Khalifa to New York City when
I remember that. I seen that. Check out his TED Talk if you have a chance.
Really?
So
I had no
entrepreneurship
idea
for
about
me
that.
is in my blood as a means of survival. And so IG is just a tool, but I'm really in this game for, you know,
Long
for the
term.
long term.
And guys, remember when he said, I document. He didn't say anything about create.
Right.
So make sure, document what you do, show the ins and outs, show the bad things, the good things, and like be just vulnerable, man, because I think that's what people start resonating with.
Facts.
But don't get it twisted for the people out there that think that it's all about having a pop in IG. It's about building a business.
Right.
Right? So
Absolutely.
talk to us. You have a number of things going on. What are the most poppin' businesses that you have going on?
Yeah.
How do you spend your time mostly?
I'm gonna just backtrack real quick to give you kind of like the seed of where entrepreneurship started for me. And it's, again, private jets and Ferraris is the cute thing, but for me,
Very cute.
It was two things. I remember when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, every year my father would get laid off right before the holidays. And my family would be, you know, hopeless, like we'd have no hope, we'd be scared. And I just remember sitting there as a kid like, is this life? You know, there's somebody in the office somewhere who signs a piece of paper, my dad's out of work, and we just have no control of that. And that used to drive me crazy. So entrepreneurship, you know, not to make it dark, but it's just the reality. So since I was 10, 12 years old, I was like, I gotta figure this out. And so that's why when you talk about building a business and operating, that's always been my MO, right? So I think like for a lot of founders of color, and not to box us in, but often it's hard to run a business that doesn't generate cash flow. Or it's hard to go out there and raise money and be like, oh, nah, it's cool, my MRR is in the negative, but I'm gonna make it out.
We were talking about that today.
A lot of times that's not a reality for us, right? Because we have family to take care of, we have real situations to handle, and for me, I've just always been an operator. I also run a food and beverage company called Kolkata Chai, and we
You guys are looking at a...
Yeah, we just signed a lease in Manhattan.
Oh, wow, brick and mortar. Wow. So before you were actually testing it out as pop-ups, and was that more to test the market? Was that to see if you can actually make money, or was there another reason why you were doing it that way?
That's a great question. So for us, pop-ups was proof of concept and building audience and building brand and realizing if there was a real like growth and opportunity there.
So from our perspectives here, what are the key ways to use these mediums? Not to get caught up in them, but to use them to your benefit so you can build a business. Use them as a tool.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think authenticity is number one, right? We kind of touched on this. Authenticity and documentation. Documentation, let's call it that. I'm making it up. But I think that's the core value number one. And I think the second thing is also paying it forward. You know, all of us, I think, are extremely blessed and extremely, you know, lucky to be in where we are. I mean, we put in the work, but there have been people who've taken chances on us. And there have been situations where we fought through, and it's important to share that with people. And I think for me, it's engaging and being social, and also just being an authentic documentarian.
I mean, what I would add to that is just like consistency, man. Like consistency wins, I mean, a majority of all battles. If you can be consistent with all that great content, with that authenticity. Guys, that was a great conversation. Aniv, dude, appreciate you coming through.
That's love, brother.
We love having people on the show, man. Let us know if you think we should have anyone else.
Who should we have on next?
Man, how about, we got a mutual homie, Julian Mitchell.
Yeah, ooh, Julian? Forbes? What's good?
I was just out in Australia with Mitch. We had a couple, you know, wild nights, but I feel like he was a great guest.
We got to bring him on.
Yeah, we gotta bring him on. And you guys let us know in the comments below who else we should have on the show. Until next time, peace.
What's going on here, guys?
This isn't funny.
You're still on YouTube and you're not subscribed yet? Click
the-
that red button below,
click it, guys.
subscribe, and get the latest Chop It Up fresh to your inbox.